We're here with another digital review here at Roll for Create, and this time we're looking at Onirim. This game comes from us from Z-Man and Asmodee.
That's right. It's a solo game, solitaire card game, adaptation of the physical game. And this is interesting because usually when we do these digital reviews, we've played the original game. This was actually our first time playing Onirim ever, so we got to experience both the game and the app itself. So this will be kind of a mini
how many
review.
of them actually, the games we've played before, were just solo games?
None of them.
Yeah,
none of them.
This is the first.
This is the first one that we've played. That's a purely solo game in digital form. So that's something else that's interesting. So we can kind of briefly talk about our thoughts on the game itself.
You're pretty much a dream walker, and you're trying to get out of this labyrinth, this dream labyrinth. So you're going to be playing cards to try to unlock doors, either 3 of a kind or a special thing with a key. But nightmares may appear from the deck and hurt you. Your goal is to get out of there before the deck runs out. So
basically, it's a deck management game, I guess. You're drawing cards. It sort of feels like to me it felt like it had elements of both Hanabi and Pandemic, even though those are very different. But the way you're managing colors of cards and keeping in mind how many are left in your deck, which cards are more valuable than others, which ones should I save, which ones can I get rid of, and it's very quick. I mean, most of your games will last 5 to 10 minutes, if that. I thought it was pretty clever and fun. It is very simple. Right now, there are expansions. Right now, the app only has the base game in it, but I think it's a pretty good solitaire game. As a game itself, as an app, I definitely can see the appeal because there's a lot of shuffling that happens throughout the game. Every time you draw certain cards, you're shuffling. So I think that cuts down on the setup time by a huge margin, where I feel like I don't know if I would even be interested, honestly, which is never the case with these digital games. I feel like I don't even know if I would want to touch the physical version, because just having it and not having to do that every other turn seems like a huge time saver.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. It took me a minute. I'm like, I remember always thinking, like, so if I had the physical game, do I actually search my deck for this? And then
right, because that's the other thing. You're taking cards, you have to look for them in there. Yeah, it's a whole other headspace.
And I do think first of all, because it's actually designed to be a solitaire game, I think is a big bonus compared to all the other ones we reviewed, which is because while they do have the, I guess called solitaire, you're just playing with computers, modes, but I still rather play Ticket to Ride with friends.
Right, you're missing something, you're losing something in that.
And you can play online with people, and maybe that's your thing, but I really prefer playing with people I know. So the solitaire aspect, I think, is great for phone. Also, like you said, it is simple, so it sort of has a calming, like, just, all right, I'm just going to match cards for a little bit on the train.
Right.
Though, for me, I guess it sort of felt like, and this is sort of, I guess, like Pandemic, and it has that kind of feeling, but almost, maybe because they're multiplayer, so there's a bit more to them, I almost felt like you're sort of guaranteed to win or lose, I feel, depending how the deck is stacked.
I see. So you
think
it's a little bit luck-based, that you're kind of predestined.
Right. I almost felt like if I didn't get a good opening hand, I'm already going to just restart. While it sort of had that feeling, I can still just sort of swap cards. I'm like, yeah, I could do this. And of course, like you said, there are expansions. I don't know about them. I wanted to strictly look at what the app was going to give me.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's a fair criticism, and that's another reason that I also wouldn't want to play the physical version, because in digital form, if I get a bad opening hand, I'm just like, whatever, restart. In physical game, like, I'm not setting this deck up again, put that box away. But it is, I mean, thinking about the other game this really is the closest to is solitaire, I feel, right? Like, just literal solitaire. And that's sort of the same way.
No, and I completely understand.
Which is, I mean,
but because it came out on all computers, you're not complaining.
Right, it's an older game, whereas this is newer. But yeah, no, it's valid. It's one of those things that you just gotta. It's a time waster and a filler thing, not.
And I think it does that well. And maybe with the expansions, like I said, I want to because we haven't played before. And I didn't want to look outside, just look at what's out there now. I don't think that. I think all of that makes it actually a decent purchase. 99 cents for that. I mean,
let's talk about, because actually, it is 99 cents right now. They say that is
right now.
a limited time for the launch window.
Okay.
I don't know what the final price will be, but I can't imagine it will be much more than that. If it's more than $5, I think it's overpriced.
Well, I think almost any time I see an app over $5,
I guess that's, most of the other games we reviewed from Asmodee have been around the $6.99, $5.99
No, right.
area.
I'm just saying, like, as soon as you cross over all of them are going to give a bit of a, but all those are, Ticket to Ride's a $40 game. So.
Well, I do feel that some of those other apps.
I think 40, right?
Yeah, thereabouts. This game is a little, the app itself is very feature light. You've got a tutorial, you've got a rule book, and there is a statistics thing, so you can keep track of your wins and losses. But there's not much else there. I don't know that as long as they keep the price low, that's fine. If depending on what they added, it might be nice to have extra modes of some kind. I don't know, like we had those puzzle modes or achievements of some sort. But for such a simple thing, it's maybe not necessary.
Yeah, I think. Once again, it depends what comes in expansions. But I think that's how this game should work. The only thing I could think of maybe wanting, because it is a sort of cool dreamscape thing. But maybe if there's something like after some expansions added, which probably add some more interesting stuff, could actually be like it'd sort of be like the puzzle mode, but it'd be sort of a story. It'd be like, we're going, you're traveling along and you're trying to find this kid. And then it'll be like, there's a set deck and it'll be like, try to do this in 4 turns or something.
I would like that, because that is another sort of criticism of the game itself, is that theme is, it's an abstract card game. You're really just looking at colors and symbols. But for me, I do appreciate that. So if they did have a story mode like that, that would add to the experience, I think. That would be cool. But by and large, cheap, it's effective, it works, the game plays well, and if you like Onirim, it's a must buy, I think. I can't think of higher praise than I would rather play this than the physical version. It really does just escalate that.
Another nice thing we should say, I think the other ones sort of had this too, but single player, you can sort of play a few rounds, stop, and it'll come back and save.
That's true. No, that's a good thing to point out. Yeah, that's
just in case you're like, all right, I'll play a little bit while I'm on the elevator. All right, I'm on my floor.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that I like for a phone game.
Exactly. And it doesn't have a bunch of microtransactions.
That's also a plus.
Overall, I think it's a great game for the current price, and even if it went up a little bit more, I think that'd be fine. I definitely am curious to see what expansions add, because I do think that could just bring that tipping point to make it really good.
Absolutely.
Like right now, it's that good solitaire. Like it's, as we said, it's solitaire pretty much. But all you need is maybe a couple weird things, maybe like different nightmares, so to speak.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. They're out there. I know they're coming. You can already see at the top. You can click a button and it shows you the base game, but the expansions aren't in there yet. But the base game is available right now for digital on iOS and Android devices. Not on Steam, as far as I know, which is interesting because most of the other Asmodee apps have been on Steam as well.
I think the reason behind that is because all of them are like, oh, you want to play with other people online. Steam is really where you want. But since this is just single player,
true, and it is so simple.
To me, it is, as you said, it's the perfect mobile game, I think.
So,
or at least of their adaptations.
Right. Check it out for whatever price it may be. I think we both recommend it at the end of the day. That's Onirim. If you want to see more reviews and stuff like that from us, from Digital Games, or if you want to buy actual physical games that we sell, you can find them at our website at rollforcrit.com. And you can subscribe and like this video and this channel and find more stuff coming from us that way as well.
Yes, until then, I'm Will Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes. This has been a Roll for Crit digital review.